This is the weekend with Candor Beach. Today, we'll bring to you a Chinese bank that's gotten hacked, Xi Jinping's bilateral talks with America, and Xiaomi launching their first electric vehicle car. So, to start things off, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China was the target of a cyber attack recently. They discovered ransomware, and why this is significant is because since their inception in 2013, they've grown to be massively important in the $26 trillion US Treasury market. The US Treasury market was valued at $5 trillion around 2007, like right around the juncture of the recession. And today it's worth 26 trillion. There were certain ease of doing business scenarios that this bank facilitated that got it to the point where it's become central to the fixed income trading. So that's what we know about this hack right now. We don't know what the full influence is just yet, but yeah, it's been hacked. What about Xi Jinping, Sailesh? What's he doing in America?
So he went to California, right? And they cleaned up all the streets, cleared all the homeless people, for their real boss to come in California. Gavin Newsom got everything cleaned up. Just kidding. But basically, yeah, he's there for bilateral talks. After he went there after 6 years, right? So it was always not good with him. And when Trump was there, we remember all those. So I think they're trying to normalize relationships, and clear the smoke, and they want military talks also going on up there. So military cooperation. So that was the biggest reason he went to America. And
they're also increasing. They're also increasing like flights between the country, controlling drug trafficking and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a general overhaul of the Chinese American
There was
relationship.
a major talk about. I mean, there was a lot of drugs which are pouring in America, fentanyl. And the precursor for fentanyl comes from China, so which goes to Mexico. So they were trying to curb that. So that was one of the major talks they're going to have in there.
You know what? Like, so last week or the week before, I read about how the Chinese were taking pandas out of the US. So I was like, all right, so US-Chinese relationships are going to hell. Cue World War III. But all right, I'm glad that Xi Jinping is out there in the US trying to sort things out. All right, so what's the third piece of news? Xiaomi and the electric car.
The phone maker is getting into car making now. So
have you heard of this before? Is there a sense of deja vu?
Yeah, it's like Apple car. Imagine the Apple car.
Exactly.
You're gonna buy it.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to go electric just yet, because think about it this way. Our country, India, is looking at hydrogen power, right? Like Nitin Gadkari had made an announcement about hydrogen power a couple of years back, hydrogen powered cars specifically. The likes of Reliance and Adani, some of the biggest industrialists in our country are investing in hydrogen power. So I'm assuming that's the next frontier. That's what's going to take over in India, at least. Toyota came up with an ICE, right? Ammonia powered ICE, internal combustion
hydrogen
engine.
powered ICE. Yeah, basically.
No, theirs was ammonia.
Ammonia?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a Toyota subsidiary. So I don't know about the future of electric just yet. I don't know whether I would buy into electric just yet, but electric is the fad right now, and I don't see Tesla going anywhere. So I think this is good.
Tesla is actually coming to India too. There were talks about it, right? So there was Elon Musk talking to Narendra Modi. about that. So that's another thing.
Apparently, Modi's clearing things up for a January push, like making sure that
Yeah,
Tesla is
yeah.
able to come in ASAP.
Tesla and the Starlink is also coming. It's going to compete with OneWeb.
Wow.
So so there were talks about that. So because they applied for a license, right? So they applied for a license recently.
Fascinating.
So
All right, so those
yeah,
are our top three. What other pieces are there? There's this Republican bit, right? Like, over to you.
yeah.
All things Republican.
No, there was an island which was it was a European island which was
Okay.
invaded by about like 6,000 immigrants, right? African immigrants, and that actually gave way for hardline stance against immigration, illegal immigration, and France actually is going that route.
Yeah, so Macron's
There's
government is centrist, and they've been looking at curbing down on immigration. And this immigration
mhm,
bill, I think, it just goes to show that Europe in general is looking at Europe, North America, not North America, the United States specifically. They're
mm,
looking at making sure that immigration is illegal immigration specifically is no longer welcome.
yeah,
What does
it
Vivek
should because they.
Ramaswamy have to say on the matter?
Oh yeah, so Vivek Ramaswamy, he wants to end birthright citizenship for kids who are born for illegal immigrants, right? So he wants to stop it. So let's say if an illegal immigrant move down there, has a baby, and they're not gonna be eligible for American citizenship. So that's a real hardline push towards and
That's
illegal immigration.
that's interesting, right? Like back when we had the wall conversation with Trump,
Hmm. Hmm.
and there were talks about how people were put into camps and how they couldn't see
Yeah.
their children because like families were separated because the children were American citizens, but the parents weren't. So now you're all grouped together, like problem solved, is it?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, the segregation camps were actually built under Obama. So,
Oh, okay, not Trump.
the
Pardon me.
children, yeah, yeah. So it was actual Obama. And the thing is, in American law, let's say you get pulled over, right? So you get caught drunk driving in America. You get pulled over. There's a child in the back seat. You're gonna get separated. It's not like, the kid's gonna go with you. So regardless of, when you enter the country illegally, that's a federal crime. So you are committing a crime to be in America. So you're going to get separated. There is no cry about it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And finally, my Microsoft shares are doing well. Tell us why.
They're making custom chips, right? I think more focused towards AI based chips.
Here's a question: like, why is Warren Buffett so gung ho on Apple versus say Microsoft, where Microsoft's doing so much on the things that are trending right now, and you could argue that Microsoft has caused them to trend. AI, I mean,
Yeah.
Gen AI specifically. Microsoft's
Uh,
come
you
out
know.
with custom AI chips that are going to be used to
Hmm.
train AI models, AI language models.
Yeah.
Microsoft's partnership, ownership, partial ownership of, or how would you talk about Microsoft's stake in OpenAI, Microsoft's general push with immersive experiences as well, right? With the HoloLens. Microsoft's, like, in my opinion, right there. Uh, so why is Warren Buffett, why are, in your opinion, Berkshire Hathaway still so firmly in Apple's corner?
So Apple, you have to bet on the ecosystem, right? So Apple is about the ecosystem, but Microsoft is making huge strides in Gen AI. That is correct. They are the ones who actually turbocharged ChatGPT. They integrated with Bing. But then when you look at the ecosystem, the reason why Warren Buffett is actually really sticking to Apple is because it has a core audience, right? So those audience are not going anywhere. Their customers want to stay with Apple just because the ecosystem.
No,
That's my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
What I read was
Go
that
ahead.
Warren
Mhm.
Buffett said that Apple's future is predictable. That was
Yeah.
it. That was why he wanted to stay with Apple. Like he knew exactly
Yeah.
where Apple
That's
was going.
exactly that. He's right. That's what I was. Yeah, it's similar to that. What I was saying. Because Apple. It's. You have a core audience who are not going to go anywhere.
I think companies like Microsoft, Nvidia particularly, I think they're making a clear play into the future, and I think
Mhm.
they're a force to reckon with. Like Apple had better watch out.
I think so. I mean, everything they'll. I think they can innovate. They is in that point. So it had an issue, right? So I mean, innovation slowed down, but eventually, I think it's going to catch up.
Fair. Okay then.
Yeah.
That concludes
Uh,
our weekend.
Weekend with Candor Beach.
Weekend with Candor Beach. All right. Thank you, and see you on the next one.
Thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.